Hello, welcome back to Bids 15, the Yorkshire Business Podcast. In episodes 5 to 8, I'm joined by Business Support and Compliance Manager Andrew Rowley from Brook, where we're going to be discussing business support, the importance of business support, why our clients choose us as a business support agency, and moving on to the importance of staff wellbeing and the impact that staff wellbeing has on productivity. So welcome, Andrew.
Hiya.
I'll jump straight into it. What is business support? So from your view as a business support manager and compliance, what is business support in your eyes?
I think business support to businesses is a different thing to each organisation. I think from our point of view, it means literally what it says on the tin. It's that we support businesses through actually delivering the growth potential that they've got. A lot of what we do is we go into a business and provide them with the skill set that they may not have in their existing staff. And we do that through our consultants, and obviously we've covered some of that in previous discussions. But the business support angle of it is being there as that point of contact, point of reference for the business all through that process. So making the initial introduction, finding out what it is that the business wants, and then putting the right consultant or consultants into that business, but then coordinating that process and being on hand to help the business throughout that.
And does that, is the clients that we're working with and potentially clients that are inquiring to us, is that element something that they are looking for over and above the potential normal service that they might get from a business consultancy or training provider that might not have that support wraparound team function?
I think so, yeah, because what it does is it actually forms a relationship between the business and ourselves. And quite often, as you will know, we go into an organisation, the organisation thinks that they want a particular kind of support, that when we get in there, we find that actually they want something different.
Yeah.
So it's being there to be able to coordinate that and make that happen.
No, I think it's something that we've obviously branded ourselves as Brook, a consultancy and training provider that provides business support interventions to facilitate change. And I think that I know that I've positioned this business in that way, because business support for me is not just about the consultant or trainer delivering the intervention. It's the wraparound service that client gets and the added extra that they get from us as a business, from me, from you, from Christian, from Diane, whoever is in our central management team, that they can contact us at any point to answer a query, get any project related kind of information from us as a business support team, rather than waiting for that consultant to then email them at 9 o'clock at night because they've been out on site with another client. And it really, for me, instills that customer centric focus from Brook to say, yes, you're going to join us we're going to join you, on your journey to achieve a certain goal or a certain outcome. But we're also going to be providing that ongoing support for you all the way through your intervention with us to make sure that you put it that you as a valued client to Brook is put at the heart of everything that we do. Because without you, we wouldn't have a business. So we need to value it. And we're in a lucky position that we can have a business support team because other businesses potentially haven't got that infrastructure.
No, and I do think that's what makes a difference, because it's like we actually want to have that longevity of relationship with the organisation, and them having one point of contact, albeit that we've then got a support team around that, so that if that individual is not available, somebody can pick it up, which I think again is something that sets us apart from some other businesses that offer the business support and the training element of it. But having that one point of contact or call means that they know who they're going to get, they're going to know how we're going to respond to something, they know we're going to be responding positively, but also the flip side of that is we get to know a lot about that business. We understand what is important to them and how they want to move forward. And I think that sort of sets us apart in terms of how we can then become an integral part of that business.
And would you say that's kind of one of the most important elements to a business that's looking to engage someone external to their organisation, not just to look for can they do the intervention, but what level of service am I going to get from this business outside of the intervention that we're instructed to deliver?
Yeah, I think so. And I think, let's face it, when a business comes to us looking for support, it's because they need something and they need it now. And we react to that quickly, we put things in place, but then it's not just that we then walk away and leave that consultant to do everything. We then sort of continue to work with that organisation. And I think the difference is no disrespect to the consultants, but the consultants will go in there to deliver a particular role, a particular job. They will probably come across other things that need doing that's not in their skill set, but that's where we come in, and that's where we then look at how can we add to that what we were already delivering, how can we improve that, how can we make that better, and that's where we then go in and find out more about it. And the businesses do respond to that. They like it. They like the fact that we actually bothered about them as an organisation.
I completely agree, and the Rowley, I was doing some training with the consultants kind of last week and this week as well, where we're integrating a client engagement portal. So Brook now is moving digital, so everything goes through our website. There's a portal for invoicing, sales invoicing, purchase orders, interim reports, completion reports, so on and so forth, and that's internal documentation to us. But one of the big questions from the consultants were, well, actually, if I'm going in to deliver an intervention, I'm going in to deliver lean or strategy or quality management, environmental management, whatever the instruction is, what happens if the client comes to me and says, actually, I don't know how to use this portal? So is that consultant then going to spend 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, whatever it is, spending with the client, taking away from the intervention? So actually, there could be a potential issue around business support, but the way that we've positioned it as a business is you're there to do the intervention. The business support team are there to support you on operational issues, such as what I've just mentioned. And I think if you get it right, that embeds us more into that business. Yeah. The business then gets used to working on our portal and has a platform to work on, and the client then gets that business support from start to finish, not just in terms of the intervention, but in terms of the added extra service that they're getting from us.
Yeah, I think so. And it is that consultant can feel comfortable to just say, well, just contact the office about that, or contact Andrew, contact Dom, Christian, Diane, whatever it might be. And because right from the start that business is integrated with us as a team, then they feel comfortable to do that. And we do get some inquiries about things where the person will say, really sorry to bother you, but, and my retort to that is, it's not a bother, that's what we're here for. And that's why we sort of do that. We don't say we're just coming in to deliver management training to you. We're coming in to support the business, and through doing the management training or whatever it might be, it throws other things out, and that's where I'm predominantly there to pick that up and find out how else we can help that business.
So from your point of view, Andrew, is there a real difference between business support and account management?
From the way that I do it, probably not, but I think quite often account management it's a bit reactive. It's responding to different sort of times throughout the actual support. So it's more reactive. It's more on a technical basis, really. I think in terms of when a business has got a query about something, whereas business support is continual and it's there. It's without sounding too fluffy about it, it's a bit of hand holding. People sometimes are not really sure what business support is going to be to them, and they're not unsure as to what the training is going to do. They know they need something, and having somebody that can go in and on that initial meeting, talk them through the process, tell them what's going to be delivered, actually introduce them wherever possible to the consultant ahead of time, so that they know who they're going to be dealing with, they know that they can point out to the staff who it is, they get a bit of a feel for it. And that then just means that you're far more integral with that business than just sort of coming in, dumping a product for want of a phrase, and then walking away from it. It's actually being there to genuinely give that support from beginning to end. But we hope that there won't be an end to that, because the business will see the value of what we've done, and then that leads on to another project.
What are the kind of touch points that you have in your role and in the business support team as well, in terms of key milestones of business support that we provide for our clients?
Obviously, the first and key one is that initial meeting with the business. It's finding out about the business, finding out what it is they're wanting to do. Don't sort of go into that meeting with a preconceived idea that you're going to do X, Y, or Z. It's actually listen to the business. And there's an old saying that you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. And I think when you do that meeting, and certainly an initial one, it's use it in that way. Listen to the business, find out what they really want, and don't provide them a solution to something that might not be what they're after.
It's almost like a diagnostic then at the beginning, isn't it?
Because, it is, yeah. Although I don't like using that word diagnostic, because that suddenly frightens people, and they suddenly think you're going to start just filling in loads of forms and stuff with them. So it's that initial meeting is the crucial one. It's finding out about them, seeing where they are, see what their operation is, getting to know a little bit about them and what matters to them. Then we sort of get to that point where you then put the consultant in that's going to be working with them. Wherever possible, it's have that introduction meeting with them, so there's a seamless handover from where they then take the day-to-day responsibility. But what we try and do is certainly have like a touch point then when they've had, say if we're delivering 10 hours worth of work, when you get to about 5 hours of intervention from the consultant, go in, see how it's going, check with the people that you initially met. Are they happy with everything? Is it going the way that they want to do? And then probably 3/4 of the way through it, not when it gets to the end, but again, check into it, check the timescales. Is it going to meet the original timescales? Do we need to adjust it? Is there anything else that they need? And then at the end, definitely going back in and making sure that it's hit everything that they wanted to do. Has it thrown up anything else that they need that we can then potentially help them with? And just sort of then, for me, it's after that is agreeing with the business. When do we get back in touch with them, just to keep that relationship going, and seeing if there is anything else that we can offer in terms of support. But that's definitely not a sales angle. It is continuing that business support with the organisation.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why we are a business support agency, because we obviously deliver consultancy and training interventions, but it's about customer retention and making sure we have longevity with the customer, and it's not just one intervention and go. That sometimes is the case if the business just needs a certain training program, and that's fine, because that's down to individual client requirements. From a consultancy point of view, we want to embed and be an extension of that business's operation, and that comes from the business support team, but it also comes from the consultant being the right fit, delivering a high quality intervention that's hit all the outcomes that we've proposed and we've said we were going to do. But having that longevity of integration in with that organisation to make sure we see it all the way through that individual business's growth plans from start to finish.
And I think that's another key element that you just touched on there. It's that at that initial meeting, you can very much have an idea of who is going to be going in to deliver that training. But then when you sit down and you talk to the individuals, you actually think, do you know what, that consultant will fit better with that business, because their delivery style will match up more with what they want, and they'll work better with the staff. And I think that's the key element to that, is that then when we've found out what that business wants, you're putting the right person in. I mean, all our consultants are really skilled and highly skilled and can do a number of different deliveries, but what will make a difference to the business is having the right person in there, and that helps with that integration.
And from just to wrap up this section, have you got an example of the level of support where what we've just said has actually come to fruition and worked in an organisation that have inquired to us about something? It's then potentially been a different intervention that we've then gone out and delivered because what they thought they wanted wasn't actually true, but then we provided that